You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 175. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Spencer Valdez.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by Rhymes with Geek. You can find our show, plus many other cool podcasts like the all-new Anti-Fanboy, Super Podcasto Magnifico, and Ultimate Facepalm at rhymeswithgeek.com. Comic Reflections is also available on backissueheroes.com, the home of classic comics on the web. And if you enjoy our show, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher. Yes.
Yeah.
So, continuing our look at Silver Age Green Lantern.
Yep.
Yay!
Showcase presents Green Lantern.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
And we only have 3 more episodes in this volume, including today. Very nice. But yes, the first book we're going to talk about is Green Lantern number 29, the June 1964 issue. And the lead story is Half a Green Lantern is Better Than None. Written by John Broome, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by Sid Green.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is great. This is a story that introduces the Black Hand.
Yeah.
Who is, I would say was a minor recurring villain in the Silver Age, but in modern comics has really became a major villain.
Right. The villain of Blackest Night. Yeah. And later had a part in Brightest Day.
And he had become a bigger deal even before that.
Right, yeah.
It's during Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern he really brought this character back.
And that's a great point to jump into. What? Jeff Johns' run on
it's excellent. Go Green Lantern Rebirth, that's a great starting point.
Oh yeah, totally.
So, but
we're talking about Silver Age comics today.
Yes. So I think referencing things where there's connectivity, where there are parallels, there's continuity.
Right.
Of course. There's no rule against talking about modern comics, but I'm just, let's just talk about this story.
Yeah. So we start off and Green Lantern is catching some crooks.
What?
And he's bagging them in an actual bag. Later on he bags some and makes a whistle and calls for the police. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
What I love is they put him in a bag. You ever wonder if you'd ever see a scene where he would put somebody in a big bag and then smack them against a wall?
Right.
Ugh.
Put a brick in there, throw him in a river.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Just tossing a bag of puppies.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So he's out and he's stopping all these crimes, but after each crime, this guy shows up, and he finishes the job, kind of, and he's kind of following Green Lantern and figuring out when's a good time to strike and all this, and he has this weird power beam thing that
he's absorbing residual Green Lantern energy, and storing it. Very interesting.
Yeah.
One thing with it, then we get a panel that has Gil Kane, artist. Explaining or introducing this odd villain.
Yeah.
And very interesting to see Gil Kane just show up. It's not the first time I've seen him in a comic.
Okay.
But chronologically speaking, this would be.
Oh, okay.
There's something at Marvel I read where Gil Kane and Roy Thomas introduced some story.
Okay.
And I'm blanking on what it was. It's something that Jeff and I have read.
Okay.
But anyway, we meet William Hand, who is the Black Hand.
Right.
And this guy breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
He talks to the reader, and that's something I want to mention. This may not be the first time that's happened, because I'm sure it happened in, say, Golden Age comics. Characters did that. Mm-hmm. But it's the earliest one that I can think of.
Okay.
Okay, and although I'm sure there's probably even Captain Marvel stories where he just talked to the reader. I would imagine.
Right.
But anyway, Deadpool became a big deal as a comic. Oh, he breaks the fourth wall. Oh man.
Right.
Nobody does that. There's a precedence, and I read a 1970s Flash story with the Black Hand, and he did that too. And I'm weird. But this is his first appearance, and he's doing this.
Right.
And it's very uncommon, but you'll see it time and again with this character.
Mm-hmm. I think, if I remember correctly,
Okay.
there's a little bit of this kind of craziness, the breaking the fourth wall, um, in the Blackest Night series. I think maybe Black Hand is
I think
slightly telling the story a little bit.
I think the modern context, it's like rather than breaking the fourth wall, it's he's talking to someone who isn't there.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I think that's how they've reinterpreted it.
Right.
Like post-crisis, or it's probably post-final crisis, or one of those.
Right.
But
yeah.
but
It's this is interesting to me because this guy is obviously insane.
yeah, he's a nut.
Yeah. But like the main person when you think about someone breaking the fourth wall, you obviously think of Deadpool.
Yeah.
And he again is obviously insane.
Yeah.
I think there's a little craziness that has to be a little bit in your character.
Yeah.
To just kind of snap out and be like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah. Because Deadpool's aware that he's a character in a comic book.
Right.
And that's another thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case with Black Hand.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's fun, as long as it's not like in every book you get, someone talk. I mean, unless you go into like Daredevil or not Daredevil, excuse me, Deadpool.
Yeah.
And you know that.
That's the thing. I think it would be weird if breaking the fourth wall all the time.
Yeah.
Because, like, look, this is fantasy, but I want to at least have an attempt to take it seriously.
Yeah.
But this is novel.
Yeah.
So.
William Hand is a crazy person, and so, maybe he thinks he's just talking to someone. And,
right.
But yeah, so we find out that he has this awesome costume.
His costume is rad.
Yeah. And he has a couple different gadgets. He has the power absorber.
Right.
And then he has this weird square contraption that when he turns the knobs, he can phase and phase out things.
Yeah.
So he does it to some rats.
Yeah.
And they vanish into the blue, he says.
Yeah, and he thinks that's how he's going to defeat Green Lantern. He's going to absorb all his power and then just make him vanish. Not knowing that he's got to recharge the ring and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a finite amount of power that he could absorb.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting. And I always thought, like, before I read this story, I always thought, like, okay, he absorbs residual Green Lantern energy. How is he ever going to beat the actual Green Lantern?
Right. Yeah.
Like, who's always going to have more power?
Yeah.
You would think. So, but yeah, Black Hand, is Black Man. That doesn't make any sense.
I think maybe you were going Black Manta.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was probably thinking that. Black Anything is a good first word, and then
Black Adam.
The Black Terror. Great hero from the Golden Age of comics. Black Terror is cool.
Okay.
But anyway, but yeah, like, how is this guy a recurring foe for Green Lantern and the Flash? But he is.
Yeah.
So, stuff.
So he, we jump to, after we get this long explanation.
He's monologuing.
A very, 2.5 page monologue.
Yeah.
But, we jump sideways to,
Hal and Pieface.
Yeah. And Hal's recharging his ring. There's a new costume crook in town, and he's got to fight him and beat him.
Yeah.
But while he's in the middle of his
oath,
this crazy smoke starts pouring from his ring, and appears Black Hand.
I thought you were saying Black Lightning.
Right. No. I almost did Black Lantern.
I like Black Lightning. He's cool. So.
And he's like, "Hey, come find me at this place and time, and we'll fight it out." And Green Lantern's like, "Well, okay." And Pieface, obviously this is a trap. He's like, "I don't care. I gotta go fight him."
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously a trap, dude.
Well, he's been committing these crimes. He's got to stop him.
Right.
And you can't just not show up when the challenge has been issued to you.
Right.
But
maybe not go, bull rushing in.
Yeah.
Into this.
Hal makes a lot of dumbass decisions, though, sometimes. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah. Carol.
Just Carol.
And then the Black Hand vanishes.
Yeah.
And Hal's like, all right, gotta go. Takes off. And pretty much as soon as he gets there, he's like split in half.
Yeah.
By the Black Hand using his weird.
He's absorbed like half of his energy, or like sent half of his body into another plane of existence or something.
Yeah.
And yet Hal's not dead because of magic, because of reasons.
Yeah, because reasons. But so he still has to fight Black Hand, and so this is starting part 2.
Yeah. I love how they break it up into chapters.
Yeah. He fires his power ring at him, and the Black Hand fires back with his weapon that absorbs power and shoots power.
Yeah.
And they're evenly matched. So Hal's thinking to himself, even half of me, I'm still able to resist a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
So this is going to work out for me, okay. He has to figure out where the rest of them is, and with that, Black Hand escapes.
So one thing that Black Hand is also into is weird cliches, and he likes to use those. He's thinking, like, oh, a penny. I always carry one in my pocket. A penny saved is a penny earned.
Right,
which
he fuse.
Yeah, and I guess there was a time when you could, in an emergency, replace a fuse with a penny.
Right.
You can't do that now, but you know, the original phrase is not a penny saved is a penny earned. It's a penny got.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's from it's Ben Franklin's. What's his book? Something.
The Federalist Papers?
No. Crap.
That might have been.
I was a history major. This is so bad.
I wasn't.
I have a degree in history. I have a degree in not in U.S. history specifically, but
right. Yeah.
But
something we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Is he has this this book that he has, like, he's kind of memorized.
Yeah, and he has it's all his crime stuff.
Right. Yeah.
That he, like, how people have screwed up in crimes and how to, like, not mess up in crime.
Right.
Okay, creepy, because fast forward decades later, he has that book, and it's the book of the Black Lantern.
Yeah.
The Black Hand book, and it's all his creepy stuff about, like, his abusive childhood and all that weird stuff that's not mentioned. It's just that he's the black sheep in the family.
Yeah.
His family, they're a famous family. They're rich, but they're good, and he's not.
Right.
But I think that the Hand's it's not alluded to here, but there's lots of dark, dirty secrets in that Hand family. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and so he blows this fuse, and he remembers back to his crime book.
Yeah.
That in a case of an emergency, a penny can be used as a fuse.
Yeah. So there's going to be this gala event to honor the Hand brothers, his 3 other brothers, Williams, and they're like, oh, let's not talk about William and stuff. And then Black Hand
William
shows...
Hand a disgrace? I'll show you. And he rips off his mask, and he reveals to his brothers that I'm the Black Hand. I don't know how that's supposed to impress them.
Right.
Unless they are also criminals.
Right. Well, they know he's Black Hand's a criminal, and they know that their brother's a lowlife, and oh my gosh, our brother is the Black Hand.
Right.
So,
as Black Hand super criminal, I'm a bigger celebrity than you are.
And he's sullying the family name by publicly being known as Black Hand, the super villain. So,
yeah. And so while he's distracted by his brothers and taunting them, Green Lantern flies in, and he's whole again.
Yeah. Holy crap.
And he pins
Black Hand to the wall.
And then
Black Hand's like, I don't understand. How'd you get to be a whole person again?
Yeah, and he's like looking at himself in the mirror, and he can, like...
It was a trick. He just... The other half was a projection that he created, an illusion. So...
With his power.
But he knew as soon as he defeated Black Hand, he could break that thing and then reconstitute himself actually.
Which he does.
So it was really like a psych out.
Yeah. My favorite part is that while he's flying him off to jail or wherever they put super criminals, he has him by, like, the scruff of the neck.
No, he's got him by his half cape that he's got.
And he's like, you'll see. Like,
yeah. So yeah, he takes him to jail. And I gotta say, Black Hand is such an interesting villain.
Yeah.
Cool costume. He's got an interesting couple of gimmicks or quirks about him that really stand out. Hopefully they make the cape a little longer next time, because that half cape is dorky.
Yeah.
But
So,
overall, he's pretty neat.
He's a weird bad guy to me. So let's look at some of the others. Sinestro.
Sure.
He is a bad guy because he's out to destroy
And be a conqueror, and yeah.
So that makes sense.
He's power mad, okay.
Star
Sapphire is weird. You got this kind of like, I'm in love with this guy, but I'm kind of doing villainy things to impress him, and the Zamras. That's a weird thing unto itself.
Right. The shark was evolved, and like he needs prey. Like it's a weird dynamic there.
Hector Hammond.
Hector Hammond is insane and
and he's got all the crazy mental powers. He's interesting.
Yeah.
Sonar.
He wants a name for himself. He wants a name for his country.
Yeah.
He has this misguided thing for his country.
Yeah.
And so it leads him to criminal things.
Yeah. Is that all of the recurring villains we've encountered so far?
And what's his name? Dr. Sonar or Polaris.
Dr. Polaris. Right.
Yeah.
Who is also cool.
Right.
Because he's got this kind of like an evil persona and a good one.
Yeah. Black Hand is our first criminal, or
supervillain who's just I'm just a criminal.
Who is evil for the sake of being evil.
That's true.
That's pretty crazy to me.
I think
it's
Sinestro's evil for the sake of being evil.
When he's with the Cordians, but he has to keep that up so that they'll let him be their leader. We haven't seen much of the Cordians recently. I want to bring that up too.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we're going to see. I know we're going to see more Sinestro and Cord in Volume 3, but
there's a purpose to him being the way he is. He wants to get back at the Guardians. He wants to destroy the core. He wants.
I mean, he is power mad, and he wants revenge and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, Black Hand, it's like he's just evil.
Yeah, for the sake of being evil.
And you could call that one-dimensional, but it stands out in this rogues gallery.
Right. I mean, think of there's other in the DC world. There's other bad guys like Joker is evil for the sake of being evil
because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah. Which Joker is still by far the most terrifying villain to me personally.
Sure.
He scares the crap out of me.
Yeah. I mean, I've read if you've ever read the Joker's 5-Way Revenge, when Neil Adams brought back the Joker,
right?
He's like killing off his old henchmen. He's like, "Hey, pal, somebody sold me out. Oh, it wasn't me, boss. Have a cigar." Oh, explodes or Joker venom. Jeez, these guys were actually loyal to you.
Yeah.
And he's just killing them off. So crazy stuff.
Yeah, and they might be one-dimensional, but all the things you can do with them. You can kill people with those characters. And
here's the thing. Jeff and I have this argument. He likes a villain who has an ability to him. So he's really into Lex Luthor and Dr. Doom. Okay. But, I love the Red Skull because he's evil.
Right.
He's just evil, and Jeff's like, no, he's a Nazi and he's evil. And I'm like, yeah, but he's super evil, okay?
Right. He personifies a time when the most terrifying thing in America was Nazis.
Sure.
Right? Not so much I'm not afraid of Nazis today.
Right. But Nazism was a terrifying thing. And the Red Skull there's something to that ruthlessness that yeah, I don't know.
I agree with not being able to put your finger on it. You know what I mean?
But there's something super special about that character, so. And we're going to see him a lot when we start doing Captain America.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about Green Lantern. Let's talk about our next story.
Yeah.
It's called, the backup story in this issue was, where is it? The World Is Mine.
Yeah.
Or This World Is Mine, excuse me. Written by John Broome, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by Sid Green. I think Sid Green is probably my favorite, either he or Murphy Anderson inker on Green Lantern.
Oh.
I liked him a lot inking Mike Sekowsky on Justice League also.
Yeah.
But an improvement over Joe Giella, who is serviceable. But, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what?
I agree. Yeah, it's great.
If you have an opinion, I want to hear it. So you don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I enjoy it all.
Okay. So here's something.
I'm an inker whore, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So this story opens up with there's a big papier-mâché Green Lantern statue at a carnival.
Right. Because Carol is crazy.
Gosh, she's crazy.
What went through her mind? Like, yeah, no, giant papier-mâché Green Lantern. That's what we need at this parade, or this carnival.
Yeah. And then
we're missing something. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Crazy Carol.
She has a singular obsession.
Yeah. But then it comes to life.
Yeah. And it's wrecking the carnival. Cops shoot at it. Bullets bounce off it.
Right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you think bullets would go into papier-mâché?
Right.
Maybe
with what we find out,
the magic or whatever that's making it go.
Maybe,
I don't know. But I tend to think of papier-mâché as one of the less sturdy substances.
Right.
Out there.
Yeah.
The fact that people make things out of it is because it's so malleable.
Yeah.
So that's
but bullets bounce off, and then he reaches down and grabs these two cop cars
and
just
smushes them.
Crushes them.
Yeah. Later at the Hall of Justice, or meanwhile.
Yeah.
Not the Hall of Justice. It's the Silver Age, so the Justice League headquarters. This is their mountain.
Oh, okay.
Headquarters.
Yeah, but everyone's there. Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman,
the Atom,
Batman,
Superman.
Yeah.
And I think later we see Martian Manhunter. Just he's not.
Do we?
We don't see him in these panels here,
Okay.
but in the end we do. First of all, I want to say it's cool to see Gil Kane drawing these characters because you don't get to see that often.
I didn't know that. So they're all kind of hanging out, and Green Lantern's like, "Look, can we get this meeting over with? I got a ceremony I got to be at Coast City Fairgrounds."
So then Snapper Carr bursts in.
Yeah.
He's their teen sidekick.
You have a trouble double.
What are you talking about, Snapper?
Yeah, you have a double of yourself. That's causing trouble. And so the Justice League's like, yeah, let's go deal with it.
Yeah, the Flash is like, let's go, everybody. This sounds like a case for the Justice League. And Hal's like, no, guys.
Coast City's my area. I'll deal with this, especially if it looks like me.
Which is crap, because if you all just went, this could be over really quick.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and in real superhero stuff, crisis, time is, time means lives.
Right.
So, I think that's crap. I mean, I get it. They want to wow, Green Lantern did this without he didn't even need the Justice League. Mm-hmm. But it's that's so lame.
Yeah.
Because why would you even have them at all?
So, Green Lantern and the papier-mâché Green Lantern start fighting. And Hal hits him with his power beam. But the papier-mâché Green Lantern has a power ring too, and its gem is yellow.
What?
And so they're having a fight, and things are getting done. Hal creates a flamethrower.
Yeah.
And tries to burn him down, and then it's just this.
And then the other Green Lantern, the giant Green Lantern, the papier-mâché one, creates a big tidal wave to put out the flames.
Yeah.
And then Hal creates a big crystalline bubble or something.
And then a giant fan to blow an iceberg at.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but he ends up crushing the papier-mâché Green Lantern with an iceberg.
Yay. So then we go back to I always want to say the Hall of Justice, but the Justice League headquarters, and Superman is watching with his telescopic vision,
right,
and telling everybody how it's going. And Wonder Woman and the Flash and Snapper Carr are there.
Yeah. So he melts the iceberg and has to the thing's gone. He can't find it. Yeah. But we then get this the monologue of the thing that's causing all the problems. And if we remember back to the planet called Green Lantern.
Yeah, which was not Mogo.
No.
We established that.
Right. Green Lantern pulled this entity out of the center of Green Lantern planet and made it into a moon. essentially. And
Oh, yeah!
when he did that, the essence or the entity inside decided it was going to bid its time and right the wrong of, like, because he wanted to take over the planet.
Oh, so this entity is taking revenge on Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Right.
So Green Lantern and Carol kind of meet up, and the paper mache, or when the entity comes to Earth, he realizes, oh, there's this giant Green Lantern. I'll just take that over, and we'll fight. But it's defeated for now, and Hal Jordan and Carol, or Green Lantern and Carol, get to do a ribbon cutting. But as they're cutting it, the ribbon goes nuts and forms a ring of its own, kind of.
A yellow ring.
Yeah. And then the ribbon ring creates this like stadium full of people.
Yeah.
And they have to watch Green Lantern and this thing fight.
Yeah.
There's tentacles.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, but back at the Hall of Justice.
It's not the Hall. Batman standing around not saying or doing anything.
Like he should be.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Batman's the best. Kind of.
I think Superman's the best.
Really?
He's Superman.
Yeah, but he's Superman.
No. There is none of that, oh, Superman with me, mister. Superman is awesome.
Yeah, but he's an alien.
All the things he can do, all the hope that he can inspire. He's awesome.
Yeah, but think of all the fear that Batman inspires.
Batman could be a Yellow Lantern.
Yeah, and he'd be awesome at it. I think there's a...
That did happen.
Yeah.
That ring, yellow ring, was presented itself to him during the Sinestro Corps War.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't take it. But I loved how Lex Luthor got an orange ring.
Yeah.
It's too perfect.
Yeah.
So, and the Scarecrow became a Yellow Lantern. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
So yeah, tentacles have Green Lantern. He's starting to sweat, and Carol is crying. And as the weird new power ring gets closer to Green Lantern, he's sweating more. And then he's able, even though it's yellow, he's able to encompass it in a bubble and cause it to fall to absolute zero, which is negative 273.18 degrees Celsius.
Which, if you didn't know, is really cold.
Right.
Like colder than Minnesota in the wintertime.
Yeah, which is very cold.
Yeah. Then it gets super hot in the summer. So
the editors make a note of saying that at
Editor Julius Schwartz.
Right.
Okay.
Absolute zero. All molecular motion ceases, and so nothing that it could possibly
even atoms don't move,
right.
Which is crazy.
And so we get the explanation from Hal on how he defeated it. He bore an invisible hole into the center of the Earth, and the heat of the core started to heat him and the power ring, and at such high temperatures, the topaz in the ring of the entity turned a pink color, and so he was able to affect it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. There are many times when he'll find a way to turn something yellow a different color.
Right. Yeah.
We've seen it before. We'll see it again.
Yeah. Hey, there he is, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, it's weird to see a Gil Kane. It was back at the Hall of Justice,
right.
the Justice League headquarters. They're talking about to see a Gil Kane Aquaman. It's kind of nice. Wonder Woman never speaks up either during the story either.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. Things.
Sexism.
More on that later. Let me tell you.
Carol and Green Lantern attending the fair, and Green Lantern says, "What need is there for a statue to a man who is already enshrined in the hearts of the people?"
Oh, how nice.
Oh.
So, okay. The next issue and story we got to talk about is so awesome.
That was pretty ridiculous.
It was great. Let me tell you about this. We'll be talking about Green Lantern number 30, which is the July of 1964 issue. And the lead story is called The Tunnel Through Time, written by John Broome, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by Sid Green. And this is rad. Green Lantern fights pterodactyls from space!
Yep.
Yes!
He does. The tunnel through time.
There's a race of pterodactyl people
Yeah.
from another planet. I love it.
Yeah. So, the story starts with a pterodactyl attacking a plane, a bridge, and there's like a newspaper boy freaking out, like, read it all about it.
What I love is the newspaper headlines. It says, pterodactyl attacks plane, flying reptiles 20 miles from Coast City. And
Call
then
the Marines.
Rangers aghast.
Yeah.
I'm like, call the Marines? That's a headline?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so the Marines do show up, the Army, or whatever they are.
The forces of
they,
military.
And they start shooting at these pterodactyls, and nothing affects them.
Right.
There's this awesome news crew that's like set up watching the like pterodactyls tear apart this building.
Yeah, there's a skyscraper. They're just dive bombing it, and like
Right.
the whole top of the building is just destroyed.
And so we get this scene because the newscaster then turns to the camera and says, "Where's Green Lantern when you need him?" And I have issue with this.
Okay.
So Green
Where's
Lantern,
Superman for one thing?
Right. Green Lantern has an entire sector he has to police, and he spends a lot of time on Earth.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, he's got so much stuff to do. It's surprised anybody really knows, like, could be expectant of him.
right.
You know what I mean?
And this guy's a little indignant.
I mean, it's one thing if you can be, like, on the other side of the world really quick, like Superman or the Flash.
Right.
But I guess Green Lantern could do that because the ring.
Yeah.
Fly fast.
It causes him to fly fast, but I mean, how much energy does that take?
I don't know. I think when you charge up the ring,
Yeah.
you have, like, an infinite amount of energy, it seems, until
Just for 24 hours.
24 hours. Now, later in modern comics, post-crises and stuff, it seems like you have, like, a windows down during the day, and then you have to, a percentage, and they
Right.
have to recharge it. But that's not 24 hours of power.
No.
That's, here's this amount of power, and if you use it all up, you got to go recharge it.
Right.
Not the same.
No.
Those are very different things.
Yeah.
And the percentage thing gets used a lot these days.
Mhm.
And I think it's incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, because...
24 hours of power is 24 hours of power.
Yeah. And, I mean, he streaks across...
Light years.
light years.
To go to Oa and stuff.
Right. Well, he doesn't really ever really go to Oa. He gets a projection of himself.
But he
somehow,
could
though.
go there.
But he could, yeah.
And he
goes
could
to
travel at
Corridor.
light speed to get there.
Yeah, and so that would take a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And so if they did the energy percentage thing...
But here's the thing.
he'd be
He's
out by
going
the
to
time
the
he
place which is the source of the power, though.
Right, but I was thinking, like, other planets.
You know?
Like, later on in this...
Right. But I'm thinking...
Corridor or whatever.
Yeah, Korrigar, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another important thing. Okay, let's just talk about the pterodactyls.
All right. And so, after this annoying newscaster makes that comment, we see that Hal is flying back to Earth and has to recharge his ring. Pieface lets him know what's going on.
And then we see, like, on the planet of the pterodactyl men,
Yeah.
which is awesome! They're having this council meeting, and they're talking, and about, like, time and stuff. Like, they're on a planet where pterodactyls were the dominant form of life, and they became sentient and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to, like, conquer the Earth, so they want to get pterodactyls from Earth's past to come back out of time
Right.
and take over.
Yeah. So
I guess that's kind of dumb, but it's awesome.
Right. I was just rereading. I couldn't remember if... So they have this, like, machine, and it sends M power...
Yeah, like it's time energy or something.
Yeah, but it's supposed to like evolve the primitive pterodactyls of Earth
Right.
to be more dominant, like they are.
So they snatched some pterodactyls out of time, and also evolved their brains.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then like this weird storm moved Earth out of the way after they shot it, and so they didn't it didn't hit the pterodactyls of Earth. And so, yeah,
that's weird.
They're back to cause a ruckus, basically.
Yeah. A ruckus. I love that.
Yeah.
So Green Lantern fights pterodactyls.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. You knock him out of the sky, but good thing he lands on a bunch of springs he just made.
Right, yeah. Pieface shows up, just, I think, for filler.
You know what? He's got somebody to talk to.
Yeah. Green Lantern then tries to fight some more pterodactyls, and he opens up a window to the past with his power ring. And he flies into it, and the pterodactyls come after him. But thank God there's a T-Rex!
Right there, baby!
And so he...
Does he take away their super evolved brains?
No, it said something like... It was like, after they go back in time,
yeah,
they lose it. Because their primal instincts will take over, and then he'll be able to hit them with his power blasts and take them out.
That's a good way to explain. So he just goes back out through time,
right?
Okay, through the portal or whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, that explains why that they didn't just evolve and become dominant, and so the space pterodactyls lost.
Right. One thing that's not really mentioned is there's a T-Rex, and these pterodactyls fall, and they are eaten by the T-Rex. The T-Rex eats them, and we're just supposed to be okay with it.
Why
because at one point they were sentient beings, and they just...
But then they just lost it immediately.
Right.
Like if Gorilla Grodd just became a regular gorilla, and he got eaten.
Yeah.
You know?
You wouldn't feel too bad.
Plus he's evil, so...
Right. You would hope he would just get eaten.
Right.
Right.
So,
okay.
I realize these pterodactyls are more pawns than anything else.
Yeah.
But... nature and tooth and claw, that's how it goes, baby. So, stuff.
So, yeah, how...
And then the space pterodactyls say they'll never hit the Earth again. We can't do it.
Yeah, it's not our...
They give up on one try.
Right, yeah. I guess 2.
Yeah, okay.
They give it a good 2 tries. They must never heard of the third time's a charm phrase.
It's an American thing. Yeah. Or it's an Earth thing. So, backup story. Speaking of Korrigar, well, I know we weren't just speaking of Korrigar, so I thought that was weird. We mentioned it earlier.
Right.
So, but yes, the backup story is called Once a Green Lantern, Always a Green Lantern, written by John Broome, penciled by Gil Kane, inked by Sid Green, and this introduces Kat Matui.
Mm-hmm.
Kat Matui.
Yep.
Yeah. And the gal Green Lantern from the planet Korrigar, Sinestro's homeworld.
Yeah.
She's his replacement lantern.
Yeah. So Hal gets a message from the Guardians.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, there's this new lantern. She's supposed to be taking her, Oh,
they don't tell him.
Oh, no, they don't.
That Kat Matui is a chick.
Right. They say, hey, there's this new Green Lantern on Korrigar. She's worthy. They are worthy. They are, everything we want in a Green Lantern. But they're having second thoughts, and so you need to go talk them into it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have things better to do than convince someone to be a Green Lantern or anything.
Right.
There were pterodactyls attacking Earth yesterday, but I'll go do this today.
Sure.
And so Green Lantern heads to Korrigar, and he meets this Green Lantern, and dun-dun-dun, it's a woman.
With boobs and everything.
Yeah.
And she's pretty.
For an alien.
With beet red skin, but no, she's great. So
yeah, and so
she married Jon Stewart. Spoilers.
That is spoilers.
And was killed by Star Sapphire.
It's been a while since that happened.
Well, I know that was like the 80s.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean, if you didn't know that now,
I'm saying spoiler ironically because it's like, dude, that's like 30 years ago.
Yeah. So they have a talk, and she says, "Look, I'm in love with this guy. He helped me defeat this amoeba monster thing."
The amoeba does look cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with the males of Korrigar and having that long John Carradine kind of face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was
because she doesn't.
Right. I was worried that he kind of looks like Sinestro.
Right. Did you think haha, it was really going to be Sinestro?
Yeah. I was a
really?
little worried about that. But no, it's just a weird long-faced dude.
Yeah, he's like, Sinestro's not going to shave his mustache.
Right. Yeah.
That Vincent Price mustache, the pencil thin. So.
And so she tells Green Lantern that, look, I'm in love with this scientist, and I can't be a wife and a mother and do all those things and being Green Lantern.
Whoa, traditional gender roles.
Right. Traditional gender roles, Batman. Yeah, and so Hal's like, well, why not? I mean, it's great being a Green Lantern. And so he goes off and he finds the fiance.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Emmy Can.
Yeah.
Who can do it? Emmy can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, so tell me about this lady of yours.
How come you just made Hal sound like he was somebody on Soul Train?
Oh, I don't know. Because Hal could be on Soul Train, all right?
Okay.
Racist.
Whoa. Let's just move on.
Yeah. But again, another... This entire story is slightly sexist all the way through.
Slightly?
As I figured, she would. She's too much of a female not to be driven by a strong sense of curiosity.
Oh,
like
man.
a cat, right?
Wow.
She then confronts him. What have you been trying to do? This is true love. Nothing will defeat it. And he's like, I wasn't trying nothing. And he has this sheepish look on his face.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah. That's actually really great.
Oh, sorry. Jumping back a little bit, she created this machine.
Yeah. To test her emotion meter.
Yeah.
Does she really love Emmy Can?
Yeah.
And she says it does.
Yeah. And so, out of nowhere, this amoeba creature comes back, and her and Green Lantern have to fight it. Well, they're both Green Lanterns. They have to fight it.
Right.
But Hal Jordan is grasped by the amoeba creature, and so is
Emmy Can.
Emmy Can, and she has to fight it.
Yo.
And so she defeats it. Hal gets loose, and they both take out the amoeba thing.
And then Hal says, wait a sec, I think your emotion meter had a flaw, because it didn't tell you, there's no question that you love Emmy Can,
but I think
it tests your loyalty as a Green Lantern. And then it tested her and says she was way more loyal as a Green Lantern.
Right.
So she jilts Emmy Can.
Yeah.
She cries, of course.
Well, because she's a woman.
Okay. And then they charge up the rings together, which is awesome.
Yeah.
In brightest day and blackest night.
Brackest.
No evil shall escape our sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware our power. Green Lantern's light.
Right.
Cool.
So then Hal Jordan kind of has this crisis oh, I just made her not marry that guy. I want to marry Carol.
Crap.
Crap. But he's totally tricked her.
Because he created the new amoeba thing.
Yeah, and he basically made her choose between him and Emmy Can. And
messed up, man.
Yeah.
But the Guardians think he did a good job.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how that story ends.
Okay.
The Guardians are happy, so Hal Jordan is happy.
So everything's fine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Green Lantern number 31. It's the September of 1964 issue. The lead story is Power Rings for Sale, written by John Broome, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by Sid Green. I think that's right. Yes. And, okay, stuff. Hey, more bad guys with mohawks, courtesy of Gil Kane. He loves mohawks.
I'm going to say that this issue was a little boring to me.
Was it? Yeah.
I mean, there's no major villains other than these Mohawk guys. And even then...
And they're just aliens.
Yeah. They don't do much. And then the backup story with the brothers.
Yeah, more of those stories with the brothers.
Yeah.
But let's talk about them. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the Power Rings for sale. Hal is in a bad mood. Pieface realizes it. And he's like, let's go see a psychologist. You'll, get some head shrinking done. And Hal's like, all right, fine. And the doctor's like, well, you're just tired. You need to get some rest. And Hal's like, all right, here's your money. And he force or power rings a $100 bill onto the counter.
Yeah, Hal's acting weird.
Yeah. And Pieface like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah, by the way, the psychologist looked like President Johnson.
Yeah, he does.
So.
Good call there, Nicholas.
Yeah. I have a history degree.
Yeah, you do.
Or I could have just read a bunch of Time magazines.
Right.
So anyway.
Pieface is really concerned about Green Lantern, and so he's like, hey, why don't you fly us out of here, Green Lantern? Get us back to Ferris Air. And so, on their way, when they get back, Hal has to power up his ring, and Pieface grabs him, and he, like, makes a plea to the Guardians to come and, like, to, like, help Hal.
Yeah.
And so, this Guardian shows up.
And Pieface has never seen the Guardians either.
No. Guardians show up, and they're like, what do you want from us? You know.
I don't think that's their attitude.
No. Green Lantern of Earth, what is it you wish from us? And Hal's like, oh, nothing. Do you got any special assignments for me? And Pieface is like, shut up, Hal. You listen here, Guardians.
We're paraphrasing, of course.
Right, yeah. Listen here, Guardians. There's something wrong with Hal. You gotta fix him.
I don't think that's Pieface's tone at all.
No?
No.
I think he's worried about his friend.
I don't think he would say, like, listen here. He's just pleading with them.
Right.
And they hear him out, but...
Yeah, and so they start up their computers. And, I mean, this really dates it, and I think it's awesome. Yeah. But it's this giant wall of computers.
Now, think of all the amazing outer space stuff they do, though.
Yeah.
I think they would need that amount of computers.
You think?
It's not like they could do it all on a Palm Pilot.
I mean...
I just said Palm Pilot. Man, that is dated.
That is true.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I realize we carry iPhones that you're carrying a computer around in your pocket.
Right.
Which is amazeballs.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You hold the whole of human knowledge in your pocket.
Well, I can access it, basically.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude.
The Guardians figure out that these aliens have been, like, causing this, like, mental, like, break in Green Lantern, and that, like, he's doing all these things that are out of character because they want to take over the world. And Pieface is like, alright, hey, where'd Green Lantern go? Like, he's sitting there talking to the Guardians.
Yeah.
And
he just kind of bails.
Yeah, he's just gone.
So then he's on the city streets. He set up, like, opens up a suitcase on a stand. He's selling power rings.
Yeah.
$1. And everybody's flying around with power rings.
Yeah. The aliens then make their move, and they cause Green Lantern to kind of start following their will, and he makes everyone else kind of follow his will as well.
Yeah.
And so they go to this where the aliens land, and Hal's like, oh, I'm a zombie. I can't... Oh, boom! And he hits the aliens with... Oh, no, the aliens make him kill himself.
That's not really.
Right. He just goes invisible.
End of the series. No.
Yeah. He just goes invisible, and then he calls all the people with power rings to him.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of under his control a little bit.
Yeah.
And they all fire on Green Lantern, and he's able to use all that extra energy and hit the weapon of the aliens and like melt it down. And they take off, and he's like, I let them live under the insurance they would never come back to Earth again. Alright, I guess, but...
Yeah.
If you're a bad guy, yep, I'll never come back. Think about how many criminals in actual society go back to, like, after they've been released from prison. I just read an article. This guy, like, got out of jail, went back to the same place he robbed before, robbed it again, and was caught again. So, if you're a criminal, you might not be the smartest guy around. Or the most trustworthy.
Right.
Yeah. And then Hal and Pieface have a quick talk, like, oh yeah, I knew I was under their control, I just needed to make sure I can get rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
Yep.
Weird McBeard. No, that doesn't make sense, but I thought it was weird.
Right. So
not weird McBeard.
backup story for this issue.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Pay Up or Blow Up.
This is a better story.
It
At least
was a
I
little
understood it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pay Up or Blow Up, written by John Broome, penciled by Gil Kane, inked by Sid Green.
Mhm.
And it's more of the Hal Jordan and his brothers type of stories.
Like, I'm going to explain this one really quick. I mean,
Mad scientist holds town for ransom with nuclear stuff.
Yeah, he's able to control all these screens.
He uses the the drive-in picture show screen to say demands. I love it.
I want $1 million in cash. I want to get away, or I will send lethal radiation into your homes and kill you all. Of course, all the Jordan brothers hear about this, with Jack being a district attorney. He's able to tell Hal about where their whole setup is to catch this guy.
Yeah.
And that they were going to fill the briefcase with ripped up newspaper. But this is just days before the Jim Jordan and Sue
Williams
wedding.
Yeah. And she is convinced that Jim is Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
So the Jim is Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Jack leaves to get everything set up for the sting on this criminal.
Yeah.
And Hal's like, "Oh, look at the time. It's about midnight. I should be going." So he leaves, and then Sue and then Green Lantern flies and follows this helicopter to a drop-off point.
Yeah.
And then there's fog, and it's can't see. But Hal realizes, oh, he's using this mountain to get around. I'm going to check out the mountain. He finds a cave, goes into the cave. He finds the guy. The guy shoots him with this energy blast and knocks him out.
Yeah.
We then switch over to Sue and Jim, and Sue is very upset that Jim is not becoming Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And flying off and saving everyone.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the one thing I have to mention about this. Are you noticing the theme here of all women being crazy and irrational and flighty?
Yeah.
Across the board in these stories, and I'm not really too keen on that.
No, it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because Carol, obviously always crazy with her paper mache.
Sue, also crazy. Remember, she jumped off a building to prove that Jim was Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So she's nuts, too.
What's her name? The Green Lantern we just met.
Kat Matui.
Kat Matui. Not necessarily as crazy as
but
Sue,
definitely weak and feminine, crying about stuff.
She had to make a machine to see if she loved someone.
What?
Yeah.
You don't trust your own instincts?
Yeah. So this is a common theme throughout a lot of these books, at least. But then we get that in with I can't remember her name. Marvel.
Who are you talking about?
I'm trying.
What book?
Ant-Man.
Oh, you're talking about Janet?
No.
The Wasp?
No. Sorry.
Ant-Man.
Not Ant-Man. Maybe it's not Marvel. I don't know. Let's keep moving.
I just befuddled as to what you're trying to reference.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's just weird.
This is bothering me.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry, listeners. Yeah, so Jim's like, well, I guess I'll get out of the car and I'll go look for him in this cave.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I bet you will.
So Jim doesn't think, maybe I'm Green Lantern and I don't even know it. So, which is, what?
Yeah.
But anyway, he starts to, he comes across the mad scientist.
Yeah.
And he tries to use willpower to, knock him out. Okay, maybe I'll just, think real hard. And then Hal comes around a corner and uses Green Lantern power to knock him out.
Right.
And so Jim thinks that he did it.
Yeah. Drags him out of the cave. They get him arrested with Jack and all that. And then at the wedding, yes, I can't believe I'm marrying Green Lantern. No one knows but me. Now I'm marrying man and wife. And the next day, Jim is at the window reading the paper, and he's like, "Oh, look at Green Lantern thwarts whatever." Yeah. And he's like, "See, I was with you all day. how could I possibly be Green Lantern?
And then she's like, so silly. I know you can project an image of yourself and send it off to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
lay down, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So let's talk about our last issue of this episode, and of course, there's more and more, but it's Green Lantern number 32, which is the October 1964 issue. The lead story is Green Lantern's Wedding Day, written by Gardner Fox, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by Sid Green.
Yeah. So this one is with Carol. I mean, she's like the main focus, kind of.
Yeah.
And so they're at this fair. Her and Hal are at this fair together, and there's this truth-telling machine.
Yeah.
And so he has her sit down on it, and he asks her some questions. Do you love Green Lantern? She's like, no, I only have eyes for one guy.
It's Hal.
Yeah, and he's like, do you love Hal Jordan? She's like, I didn't used to, but now I do. I love you, Hal. I love you, Hal. And he's like, that's all I need you to know. Will you marry me? So he's like, before we get married, I gotta tell you something. And he shows her the ring on his hand, and she's like, well, what? And he tells her, I'm Green Lantern. You know, I loved you as Green Lantern, and you love Green Lantern, but I wanted to love you as me, and I wanted you to love me as well. So now you do. Let's go get married. So they get married. Yeah, now from mentioning man and wife.
Getting married.
And then, like, kind of out of nowhere, everything, like, phases out. And he's kind of all alone. And he lived through this experience of marrying Carol and all this stuff.
He's like, what?
And so he talks to Pilot. He's like, no, that never happened. What are you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
So he's very confused. And then he goes and fights some crime. He finds these guys, and they have these weird machines. And he captures 3 of them, but then one of them is kind of left behind. There's that weird whistle thing. They're all in a net, and he creates this whistle that starts tweeting, and it's calling for the police. And he goes back in, and this guy starts firing on him with a gun, and he like makes these like power blade like knife things, and they cut the bullets in half, and they like spread out and totally miss him.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And so it causes he hits the bad guy, and it causes him to like run into all this machinery, and it does something weird to Green Lantern. He's like, oh yeah. Then in some way I can't understand, I was with Carol. He's explaining all this to Pieface.
Yeah.
Then I was at the fair with Carol, and all that stuff happened, and now it didn't, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he goes and he has to fight some more. He phases out again, and he sees criminals and he starts to fight them, and he uses like mud balls to hit them and stop their car. And then he like pulls up the street. Now Green Lantern does a lot of weird stuff like this. Like he cuts off the tops of buildings. Earlier in this issue, part 1 of this issue, he like pulls the floor out from underneath people, and then like now he's like lifting up parts of the street.
Yeah.
But you know how much that would like tear up the infrastructure of the town? Like,
I mean, he could always fix it later.
Water pipes under there. I guess he could, but come on, man, this isn't very nice.
Right.
And so he realizes that he's phasing in and out of different Earths. And so,
right, and so he remembers, the Earth 2, where Alan Scott lives, Earth 3, where there's the evil power ring, member of the crime syndicate.
And
so he realizes this is another parallel Earth.
Right, and so what he experienced was
this other Hal and Carol
getting married.
Yeah.
This other Hal is also a Green Lantern, and so when he goes and confronts him, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! And they're about to fight, but then he explains everything, and then they become buddies, and he's happy for them.
He gets to be buddies with himself.
Yeah. Could you imagine not being friends with like, oh, that guy's a dick. Like
yeah.
That guy.
I think it would give you like a kind of a weird perspective. Like, oh, is that how I really am? I need to work. I need to work on this.
And so they figure out a way. Him and Earth, whatever this Earth is, figure out a way to like make sure that when Hal gets pulled back into his Earth, that it would, like, all the negative energy that is causing him to phase in and out would be pulled from him like a sponge on a screen. Like, they go into this weird detail thing. And so he gets pulled again, and he captures the guy that's doing all this crazy stuff, and he's cured of all the phasing stuff.
Yeah.
But later, at the Coast City Science Fair, he takes Carol to that same spot with the truth machine, and he asks her the same question. She's like, "Of course I love Green Lantern, more than anyone else in the world." And he's like, "Do you love Hal Jordan?" She's like, "I'm sorry, Hal. You know I love only Green Lantern. I've told you so, and I have so many times in the past."
Man, unfortunately for this universe's Hal,
yeah,
his Carol is crazy.
Yeah, she won't love him.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Wah wah wah.
Our backup story in this issue
is Power Battery Peril,
Yeah.
written by Gardner Fox, penciled by Gil Kane, and inked by Sid Green.
Yeah.
I feel like there have been stories called Battery Peril before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seems kind of like a generic title.
Maybe it's kind of like the case study or the case book.
Yeah.
The Pie-Face case book stuff.
So, I think it is. That's usually that's what a lot of these backup stories are. Oh, this is interesting, though.
Yeah.
Hal, when charging up the ring, gets summoned to another world.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah, so he's like pulled into the power battery, and then he's shot across space.
Yeah.
To this weird prism thing on a moon.
Yeah.
And the prism starts talking to him about, hey, this is who I am. My name is Energy Man.
Yeah.
And me and my cohorts,
who were kind of like a Justice League.
Yeah.
There was Golden Blade, Strong Girl, and Magico.
Yeah.
Okay, and they were like a Justice League on this world.
Yeah. We fought crime here. We saved lives. We did all this stuff.
But this evil alien tyrant, Fartface or whatever, Van Orel, defeated us, imprisoned us, and conquered our world.
Yeah.
And so
I kept feeling. He said that he kept feeling this weird energy pulse, and he finally figured out that Green Lantern, use the same energy wave with your power ring as I do, using my energy transforming powers.
Yeah.
And so
Energy Man is dead.
Yeah.
He had to sacrifice himself so that he could contact Green Lantern and present him with this information.
Right. And if I remember correctly, this is the second death in the Green Lantern series.
Who was the first?
Adam Sir.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not seeing a lot of people dying. That's, because it's showing death is kind of...
Right.
This is Code Hero, baby.
Yeah. And I think both of them died in ways that, like, oh, this guy's sacrificing himself, which is like a huge
That's
thing.
acceptable.
Adam Sir died because he was protecting Earth or
something yeah.
Like that, yeah. And so, yeah, Energy Man dies using the last bit of his energy to contact Green Lantern and bring him here. He's like, all right, you will not, like, we have this awesome panel of, like, Hal being totally distraught and, like, talking to the ring and saying, I know you were gone, but you will not have died in vain.
Yeah.
And so he kind of vows to take out this bad guy.
What a great hero Energy Man is, though.
Yeah. And so he heads to the planet, and there's just a lot of, like, the power behind his ring is, like, slowed. He's not able to, like, use it as well.
But Van Orel, or whatever, the villain who's taking this world, he set a lot of traps that Green Lantern's got to, like, try to get through.
Yeah, he, like, sets up, like, an oxygen atom to, like, attack him. Like, this, like, massive oxygen atom. And he's pelted by electrons and neutrons and
all kinds of dog poopy like that.
Yeah. And then he gets, like, sucked up by, like, a space tornado. Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah.
A space tornado.
I hate space tornadoes.
They're the worst.
They really are.
And so he finally realizes, there's something wrong with my ring. Van Orel, he can't read my mind, but he is affecting me somehow. But he lands and crash lands in a forest.
Yeah.
Green Lantern does, and he finds this yellow, his ring is constantly glowing.
Yeah.
He can't figure out why, and he finds this yellow leaf, and he covers his ring with the leaf, and the glowing stops. And so he realizes, Van Orel doesn't understand that I can't affect yellow things, and so I'm going to use that to my advantage. And he puts the leaf in front of the ring to block whatever is interfering with it.
Yeah.
And he shoots the ring over the leaf, and he's able to use the ring normal as long as this leaf is in front of it.
That's so weird.
Yeah. And so he's able to attack Van Orel, and he's able to take him down and capture him, and he drags him back to the moon.
Yeah.
Where the prison is, and he
then
frees
the heroes from the prison. Yeah. And then he imprisons Van Orel in the prison, and then they revere his name and whatever. And he even Hal contacts the Guardians and says, "Can you assign a Green Lantern to this?"
Yeah, because they don't have one.
They never have one.
Yeah, so they have a new. They'll get this new Green Lantern, which is cool. And then we find out that this is going to be a case for Pie-Face Casebook.
Well, the Green Lantern casebook, but the Pie-Face is recording. Yeah. So, yay, cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's the show.
That's the show.
We'll be back next week with more Walking Dead, and 2 weeks from now we'll return with Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah.